Alright, let's go ahead and drop that link to the spreadsheet into the chat window. There it is. You can comment on that spreadsheet so you can ask questions and stuff there. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, this was originally on Twitch under Beach Fit Rob. As you can see there in the chat window, I think this shows up when I download the video. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. So basically, the import of this video is I have the BTC-S37 myself, and I was kind of wondering about the economics of it. You know, it was pretty clear, like, just on the surface of it. This board is available all day long for around $200 or maybe a little less. The link for the eBay there, that's who I got mine from. He has pretty good feedback, pretty good communication on WhatsApp. So you can actually message him. He's not the greatest, but he did give me a discount for a second board purchase. I just bought a second board that I'm waiting on because I've got some RTX A2000s coming in. I ordered 3 of those. So that came in, you know, just kind of bootstrapping myself up there. You know, as I get some money in, I kind of roll it back into more mining gear with a mind to efficiency, because who knows what's going to happen with this ETH 2.0 fork. So that's kind of the worry, and you know, the last person to turn off their rig is going to be the most efficient miner. You know, if they can make a little bit per day, you know, so be it. Personally, I'm using HiveOS on this board, and knock on wood, if you can hear that. Anyway, knock on wood, I have had really good results with this board. I'm running it on a single power supply. I talked about that in a different video on YouTube. It's a 750 watt server power supply with a breakout board, and right now I have 6 GPUs in it. I need to order like 1,000 or something. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Anyway, that's totally a different video. I digress. So I've got this on my secondary display over here, so if I look over that way, and apologies for all the junk in the background, don't be alarmed at what you see. I am not making this video against my will. This is not a torture chamber. It's just my messy room because I'm doing stuff. Anyway, on to the economics. So as you'll see on the spreadsheet, again, that's the first link there in the video. This board is way cheaper. I broke it down into cost per slot, and that's with the board $200, RAM $18, the CPU $0 because it's built into the board, storage $20, and that's just for a little mSATA, you know, 16 gig is plenty. I got a 32 gig used for like $12 or something. Samsung's a pretty good brand. And I assumed a power usage of 20 watts. Other people have claimed that. The CPU TDP is only 17, so that's like full out. It's only burning 17, so 20 is probably conservative per use. And so the power cost for the board comes out to $2.15. You can use 4 gigs of RAM. That's plenty for HiveOS. That's a consideration for Windows. 4 gigs on Windows, I personally, I wouldn't really want to run that. I don't know. I plan on running HiveOS because I have Windows running on my Dell G5 5000. Again, that's another video on YouTube if you guys want to look at my YouTube channel. It's not very stable with 3 GPUs, like 1 in the slot, 2 1X risers, you know, running 2 other GPUs. Not great, and it's an i5, and I know it's a Dell G5, but that should be pretty easy. I'm not using splitters or anything. Seems to be pretty stable now. Never could really get that. Even I had a 4X splitter, you know, and I'm like, I'm done with this. You know, it's not stable, it uses more power, etc. And once again, knock on wood, been really happy with HiveOS on BTC-S37. It's kind of that deal, what's your time worth? And messing with risers and cabling, is the riser locked down into the slot? Is the cable pushed into the slot? Just let me put the video card in the slot and just be done with that crap. Plus, it's more compact, and let's say $6 for a riser that seems to be about as cheap as I've seen, something along those lines. Maybe you're getting cheaper risers somewhere. I don't know, but I don't have to pay for that. So as you can see in the spreadsheet, like the BioStar, TBC, blah 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 blah, 17 GPUs. I'm assuming 16 because that's the maximum. As I understand that HiveOS will run. To run anything over 16, you've got to run Windows, which is of course a cost consideration if you're running a legit copy of Windows. Whatever, that's on you. But for a key, it's probably going to cost you a couple more bucks. And then is it legit and all that? Blah, blah, blah. No, pass. Let's see. So the RAM was a little bit more for the BioStar, and again, I only did 4 gigs. The CPU 145, and that's for an i3 low end. You might be able to find something cheaper. I assume the same on storage. That brings it to a cost per slot of $38 per slot versus $29 per slot. So right off the bat, our slots are cheaper. The power cost was about 80% more per month, with that board, just because I'm sure the board probably uses more. It certainly the CPU does. The RAM on the BTC-S37 is SODIMM. Somebody note in the comments, I'm going to assume that SODIMM, since it's a laptop, RAM is probably going to use less RAM, and plus it's DDR3. I don't know. That's something I'll try and remember to look in the comments. So this equation to me becomes somewhat about efficiency and power use. So over the long term, you're just going to save more with the BTC S37. Plus, right up front, your setup cost is way more. Just for the board, risers, and CPU alone, you're looking at $565 versus $195. That's almost a cheap video card, free. So, and then the time messing with PCI lane issues as well, which maybe you have, maybe you don't have. I'm not worried about it on this board. I don't think anybody's had trouble getting 8 cards onto this board. There may be some cards that you kind of have to fiddle. I'm gonna have 2 different boards, so maybe I have to put one in one and one in the other. So I don't know. Haven't heard anything about that, but I've heard tons of issues with PCI lanes, and people trying to use boards that were, using splitters because there's not enough slots, and then these super mega, 16, 19 GPU setups, and it's like, just get the BTC S37, be done with it. And for a final note, I put a link to the bottom in the spreadsheet for that frame. It's like the last link on the left for frames for the BTC S37. There's a couple of sellers on eBay that have these, and to me, it looks like a pretty decent one. I don't have it in yet, but it can't be that complicated. They're different, obviously, than the regular frames because you don't have the cards sitting above the board. Like, the board is there and the cards sit there, so it's like a smaller type deal, and it's $95 ship, so I think that's pretty reasonable for the frames for them, and it is stackable. Obviously, you can do what you want. I've just got mine running right now on a wire rack, but I kind of wanted to clean stuff up, make things a little nicer. And actually, let me do this real quick while I'm thinking about it. Let me go and link to you on Amazon. This is kind of up to you. I don't know how good this is going to be for me. I was able to find some Antec 120 millimeter case fans. Right now there's a 10% off coupon. These are $16, shipped with Prime for free with a 10% discount. So you're looking right around $5. Right around $5 each. Now I will say I'm not super happy with them because I didn't realize when I ordered them It says power connector type 4-pin. It turns out they're Molex, which is not a huge deal. I'll manage it somehow. But they're only about 30 CFM, so I don't know how that's gonna work out. But they are cheap, $5 for Antec. So I'm just gonna put that link in there, and you can figure that out yourself. It really probably is a better case fan than it's going to be mounted on the frame. Because they're just kind of sitting on the end. There's no case on the outside to kind of draw that air through. I'm guessing if there's 4 or 5 sitting in the back of the GPU fans, airflow will be pretty decent with that amount of fans. We'll see. So the unfortunate thing about the BTC-S37 is, depending on what power supply you use, you can use Molex off your power supply. If that's what you're using, that's fine. But on the board itself, they're Berg connectors, which are like a floppy drive. That's called a Berg connector. And I'm going to put that these are about $16. It's not bad. Plus, if you're using the Prime card, you get another 5%. So it's 15% off, like $1, like $2 off. So it's like $14.99 before tax. Yeah, so they're $5 before tax. Cheap. Alright, so anyway, I think that is about all I have to say about that. Thanks for watching. Click those subscribes and the links, which I always forget to put in. So, and use links, because I took some time to research this and make this, so it would be nice of you to give back. Give back. See ya. Comment on the spreadsheet, on the YouTube, wherever you like.